Hello, this is Navy Old Soft Gamer, thriving on mushroom soup. Let me just make one of these real quick. As you can see, I have eaten all my cereal. So, I'm kind of stuck with mushroom soup now. I've got everything I need in there, but the 5 mushrooms, and this is the longest. I will eventually probably make an advanced baking system where, an advanced packaging where this is a lot faster. But I'm more worried about other things. Basically, I did a video already, and it got long, and I wasn't happy with it. So, I'm redoing it. And I figured I'd make some soup. Okay, so that part's done. That's all. Now, I have been playing and experimenting, and I have to go outside for that. Everything's closed. I did do some work on atmospherics a little bit. I got an oxygen tank full, a volatile tank. Well, I'm going to take this and...
Air tank critical. Oxygen low. Low pressure.
Oh, shut up.
Oxygen critical.
And I'm doing some maintenance stuff because I fell behind because I was doing so much experimenting. But this is what I have up here now. This is working really well. I actually added a second battery and it fully charged it. But let me show you what I did. I did have this hooked up to a big tank and a heat exchanger. And I didn't like the way it was working. I said, why am I burning fuel in a furnace to make heat when I could burn fuel in an H2 combustor to make heat and steam and eventually water. So this is what I ended up doing after about 4 hours of playing around and experimenting. So I got 3 megapascals of steam in here, and I got a water tank here, but it's not going to turn to water because this is 500 C, so it's just going to stay steam. But I got this feeding into this pipe network at 8 megapascals with this relief valve hooked up. You can see some air coming out of it. I probably am losing a little bit of steam out of here. 0.98. This is filtering it all rather quickly, so I wonder if there's a way I can... I wonder if I do this, will it slow the flow right down too much? Take a pause here for a second. See, I'm constantly rearranging this system. Now I turn this back on. Do things over pressurize or get nasty? No. And this should not have any water in it. It has steam in it. Why does it have steam in it? Because it should be going down, but it's not at the moment. That's going up. So this is better, because now all I'm getting through here is the waste, which is not taking any water over here. So once the water that's in, and steam that's in the tank in here disappears, that'll solve the problem. That was a smarter way of doing it. Always learning, always trying different things. But anyway, so this is putting out, as you can see, almost 2,000 Celsius, for crying out loud. And this started out as about 7 megapascals. It's gone down. This is quite a long time. So it's not like that was instantaneous. It goes, as you can probably see, it goes down really slow. 1.02, 1.01. It goes down really slow. Puts out a ton of heat. I mean, this is started much lower than that. And I also realized that keeping this cool made a huge difference. So I can actually put more cooling on this. And this got kind of crowded, so this is no longer hooked up. I can make ores and stuff with that. It's not a problem. But I'm just using the heat produced by the H2 combustor, which is 627, 626, changing ever so slightly. Not that big of a deal. And so I have about just under 400 Celsius difference. And from what I've noticed, this control, as long as it's open, doesn't have any effect on what I produce. That's just moving the air through the system, basically. So I am now producing what I have, what I'm using, because I'm blue. So it won't tell me exactly what I'm using. And if you go down here, if I stop hitting the wrong button, I put this on here. I'm only using 545 watts. That's with everything running up here. I thought this would use more power, but it isn't. I'm just about, and this is actually a good thing. I'd kind of want to run this out, to be honest with you, just to see how this runs on the residual heat. It should run for quite a while. And I'm also debating bypassing the tank and just using the hot air, because now that would have a short-term boost, but then this would no longer be heating up, so the long term it probably wouldn't work quite as well. I do believe this works based on input pressure, so as this goes down, this temperature should probably go down, although it seems pretty stable at the moment. 5 megapascals. So what I should probably do is let this tank run, and this eventually I'm going to run this over to these tanks and mix it automatically. Now I'm still going to have to use ice. I don't have any automated way, except for maybe Amy, of mining ice. But if you look, this planet's covered with craters, and Amy will fall into them and get stuck. I almost guarantee it. So she's not really a viable way of doing it, the little mining computer. So I'm probably going to have to keep shoveling until I get rockets, ice volatiles and ice into here every once in a while. I may actually put 2 in, because if I combine the 2 it'll just burn in the pipes, and that just defeats the whole purpose. But so now I'm producing power with heat from the H2 combustor, and at the same time producing water, and killing 2 birds with 1 stone. And as I said, I'm only getting steam now, so when this shuts down, it should be any second probably. Getting low. It's still the same, so I guess the flow rate doesn't get affected by the pressure in the tank, because that's the same as it was. I think I got that set for 8.5. Yeah, so that's just bleeding out at this point. Basically, this is working really well. I still have to figure out a way to control it, because now, yeah, I'm producing power, but I'm producing more than I need at this point. So how do I regulate this to go slower this doesn't seem to matter. I could turn it off, or maybe set it for point something. And when you do shut this off, this temperature stays very stable. It's all insulated. It doesn't seem to bleed out any heat whatsoever.
Power critical.
Okay. Problem solved. Now this will be using more power now because I'm still producing exactly what I need. So I'm still going to stay blue. So what I was producing at this point was about 2.5 kilowatts. Seemed to be the max. And this just keeps running. So what I can do to control this, I still got 8 megapascals in there. You know why? Because I need a one-way valve. That's not going to do anything because it's coming in from the back. So I need a one-way valve here, which is very restrictive. What I did is I took the exhaust to save the heat that's coming out and rerouted it into the tank. And as you see, it's gone down 4 Celsius, but it'll run for a really long time like that. And I'm still not out of fuel. And this is starting to go down now, so it does, once it gets to a certain point, it does affect. I might put a regulator on here. Maybe I'm using the fuel too fast. If I slow it down, maybe I can save some fuel. That's actually a good thought. So this is all coming to a halt here. So what I can do is just turn this off. And that's going to bleed out all the extra stuff here. I still got steam in here, about the same amount. I think that's just trapped. It's not leaving or coming. Since I disconnected that. I guess at a certain point, like right now, I could hook this back up. Because it's not producing any more pressure. So for the time being I can do this and refilter steam in here, and it should be going down eventually. It's not yet though. I got to stop. I got 7 megapascals in here. Pretty soon I'm going to have to stop. That's a full tank. So when you basically, it's a full tank of fuel for a full tank of steam. Now this isn't going to be 656 moles of liquid. I think it's like 20 moles per liter or 25 moles per liter. So that's still going to be a few liters. But we can find that out here real quick too. So temperature is going down now, so I'm going to lose efficiency. And power generation. But you know, until I get this set up automated, I'm probably still generating more than I need. It's still 600 in there. I'm still blue. I added a battery. And it just can't hold all the power. See, everything is shut down. So this is residual heat making more power than I need right now, which is something I want to kind of avoid. I really don't want to make, I don't want to be wasteful. At some point I'm going to have to say enough is enough on that tank. I'm in the red. I should stop. Okay, so everything is shut down over here. Now, my question that I had, how hard is it going to be to cool off that water? So let's put, first off, let's get maybe pipes. Pipe, you can't do need insulated. I have been going through a ton of ores. I used up all my steam, all my steel. I had to make Invar. I had to make constant tan because I upgraded these to 2 so I could make some gear that I was trying to experiment with. I don't know if you see it. I think I took it down. I made a large heat exchanger to think maybe I could take the heat out of the furnace. And it just was, it worked, but it was just like really seemed wasteful. I went through a whole tank of fuel and then I'm thinking, why heat the furnace? There, I did leave it here. Why heat the furnace and use the fuel if I can just use the fuel and make water at the same time? And it worked pretty well. Sorry about the delay here. What is going on? Stop it. Yeah. I could have just done that instead of... It's still not working. Why is it not working? Liquid pipe. Oh, you idiot. That would explain it. So I want to go up. I'll show you while I'm doing this in a minute. Or we'll go 6 to start with. There we go. Okay, we'll try that. I'm just curious how much it's going to take. Liquid radiators. I think I have 3 of them in here. That came with the lander, I think. My little headband is going. Yep, I have 3 in here. So we'll start with the 3 and see how the temperature or the steam goes down, if it goes down. I think it will. I may have to cool the gas pipes and not the water pipes, but we'll find out. Alright, so we'll put that, and that on there. Now, is that having any effect? It is not. Or is it? No, it's not. So I do have to cool down the gas part of this. But I will have to cool the water down eventually too. So, change 2 of 100. Let's make some regular pipes. I am out of copper. That's another problem I'm having. I ran myself out of copper. So if I need copper for these radiators, I'm going to have to pause it. And as I mentioned in my last one, if I don't pull the pipes off as they come out, I swear I had one launched into orbit. I saw it fly up and it disappeared, and I have yet to find it laying anywhere. I'm like, I was like, yay! Alright, so do these require... Oh, gold and steel. Well, I have that. Cool, I don't need copper. So I have 1 copper left. So let's make a few of these. And you notice it's still generating more power than I'm using. So the residual effect of the heat does last for quite a while. And these 2 batteries will run. I tried to make a station battery, and I had to make stellite and a couple other things. So I was like, you know what, I'll just add, large station battery. What do you need here? There's a kit. I need the kit. I have gold, copper, steel, electrum, silicone, but I don't have stellite. So I will make that eventually. I just didn't make it right now because I was too busy doing this. And this is an interesting way of trying this. I don't know. I could hook up a phase change device here, and that would most certainly work. But if I could just put on radiators and have this condense back into water, that would save me power and effort. Okay, so I need that kind of radiator for vacuums. Might as well put that one up there. Now, this temperature should be going down. And it is. It's going down fast, as a matter of fact. So, I don't know at what point this condensates back into water. I'm sure there's a certain temperature. I thought it would have been 100 Celsius, which is boiling. But in my last planet, that was not the case. And it has something to do with the pressure at temperature. So, as the pressure changes, the temperature that is needed to condensate changes via this, let's try H2O, no, steam? Yeah, steam. So as the pressure goes down, the temperature goes down. So at some point it's going to reach a point where, yeah, the temperature is down low enough for it to be. What in the world is going on with my mouse? Oh, there we go. I got some water. So this should be draining right into here. And why is there steam in there? That's okay. Why is there steam in there when I have only the liquid hooked up? So it's probably because of the lower pressure. It's returning into steam until it cools down again because of the low pressure. The pressure in here is higher than the pressure in here. But here we go. I am making water from my fuel and using the H2 combustor, and also making power by using the H2 combustor. And just out of curiosity, how much power? It's still blue, and I haven't had any source of heat for a while, so I'm still making whatever I need. I'm sure I'm not making as much as I was. Yeah, see, this is down to 400, so yeah, I am going to be losing efficiency, that's for sure. But I'll have to make this like a two-stage process somehow. I have to think about how I'm going to do that. And again, I'll have this hooked up. But I need to have all this shut off from this section for it to cool down and condensate. 3 liters, 3.4 liters, and I still got steam in here. Well, that temperature with those radiators went down fast. Every time I'm on my computer, I don't live in too big of an area, but it always seems somebody's mowing their lawn. I'm way out in the country. So, do I need to put a volume pump on to suck the water out of here? 3.85, 3.87. There shouldn't be as much water in one as there is in the other. .94. That doesn't make any sense. But it looks like I'm going to, from that one tank, I wonder if that's because it's the same network. 27, no. Great. Another volume pump, more power. Liquid volume pump. I don't have enough copper. Okay, so that's going to have to wait. I don't have enough copper. It's still blue. So it looks like I'm going to get about 10 liters of water. Maybe more. 18, 20. And if you look at the temperature, it's not going to take long to get it down to drinking temperature. I just don't understand why you would think. Well, let me pause it. Let me get some oxygen, or some copper. What happens? What temperature this will get down to? I don't want it to get too cold. I'm going to have to disconnect these two pipes. The tanks at a certain point. In fact, I think I'll do that now. So I can go get some copper and get a volume pump. They should just sit here, theoretically. That one didn't quite sit there. Alright, so let me pause this. I'll get some copper. I'll make the copper. And who knows how long it's going to take me to find copper, because one of the things I found out about the chain that's lead on Mimas is mining is a pain in the neck. It really is. I cannot wait till I get this power setup automated so I can... Why is my suit warning me? Oh, I gotta put more propellant in. I came in here to turn this on so I didn't get lost. Oh, I should have drank. How low is it? Didn't I just drink water? I swear I just drank water. I'm going to be drinking water as fast as I'm making it. I'm just using up all my extras. Not going to get me back to 100? Yeah. Might as well eat some wonderful... None of these are open. Oh yeah, that one is. Wonderful mushroom soup. I can't imagine mushroom soup would get pretty old pretty fast. As a matter of fact, I'm going to come out here. I should pause this, but I turned it off. What did I do that for? I turned the oxygen and the nitrogen, which I could automate, because I didn't have a whole lot of pressure left in here, if I remember right. 5, which is okay. So I'll take the canister for my backpack.
Jetpack critical.
And that's been all oxygen. I made sure of that so I don't get any nastiness in there.
Air tank critical. Oxygen low. Low pressure. Oxygen critical.
I didn't use too much of it, but I'll let that run. Okay, let me go get some copper. I'll be back. Okay, so remember how I told you the one time I'd searched and searched and couldn't find copper. I just found a copper and mined out that big old hole. Got 98. Not bad. The frustrating part of it is it was right next to my base. I swear to God, sometimes I walked around and looked and couldn't find copper. Right next to my base. Okay, so let me chuck this in my... I could put it in a furnace, but am I still blue? I'm still blue. Now, admittedly, that wasn't a terribly long time. I'm not even sure if my ice is done. It is. What do we got in here? I don't know because I got the beacon in there yet. Nothing. So that is done. Which means I can shut that off and that off. Ooh, I should have been a little more careful. 8 megapascals. You can blow the base up. It is not a Mark II tank. One of the things I noticed, you're in a vacuum. Oh, by the way, I did find coal, and I threw it in the corner here. So I'm like, while I was doing this, I kept having to stop because I'm like, I gotta go find coal. I gotta go find coal. So finally, I just basically shut my base down. Pretty much everything. And I spent like 45 real-time minutes mining coal, and I came up with, I think, 200. And I used one for steel because I ran out of steel. I had to make more of that. I almost forget what I was making. What was I making? Oh yeah, volume pump. Perfect. Okay, so let's see if I can get that water out of that tank and into the appropriate one. Let's not run into anything. I have power right there. Hello? I blew a tank. I blew a pipe. Does that mean I lost all my water? No, because I disconnected it. So this pipe froze. So that's something I'm going to have to watch. That pipe froze. Yeah, makes perfect sense. So, I wonder how I'm going to control that. Luckily, I'm glad I disconnected this tank. Yeah, I'm glad I disconnected that. Interesting. Wait, is that water ice? What is that? I'll take it. Come back! Come back! It is ice water. What the heck? I'll take it. I don't know what exactly I'll do with it, but I'll figure something out. Okay. So I do need somehow to protect that pipe. But anyway, got sidetracked. That happens when things fall on your head. I'm going to take that out of there, put that up there, put this here. I have a question. Is this one? No. I'm thinking that while I'm working here, is this freezing? No, because the liquid all got pulled into there. There's nothing in that pipe. Did it break? It did break. Okay. Interesting. I'm glad I disconnected those. That would have been really disappointing to have all those freeze and lose all my water and all my steam. So that's going to have to be monitored. I'm wondering how I'm going to do that. But now this shouldn't. I have to disconnect this and then just go from here. So don't tell me what you think I want. I know what I want. Alright. So this goes here now. That is the correct direction. Wire this up. I wasn't expecting that, and I should have been. Alright, so now I'm going to be very disappointed if I connect these in a crack or something stupid like that. I may have to move this one. I do. Oh, I can't see what I'm doing. Okay. Do the old trick here. There we go. Stay. Okay. So there's no coolers on there, so there shouldn't be cooling off any, although that is regular pipe, so that might radiate some cooling. No. Alright, so if I turn this on, that should pump all the liquid out of here. It is. Of course, this is still a little too warm, but I have to monitor cooling much closer. It might be better to use a phase change, because then I wouldn't get this spike at too low of a temperature. And of course now, because of the pressure, I could do this. I could put this back on and put one of these on. No, 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 no! You idiot. Well, I just lost the steam that I had. Hopefully I didn't lose any water. No. Like I said, that's a vent. Now it's not a vent. So now I can hook this up. Will I ever get rid of all the steam? I kind of don't think I will. You don't. I no longer have any water in here, right? A little tiny bit. So out of all that steam, I've got 7 liters. Although there's 12 moles in there and 4 moles in there. But I don't think I'll ever be able to get rid of every bit of steam. Don't do the same stupid thing, Steve. Get rid of the holy pipe. And let's put one radiator on here. And connect that. Wrench. Okay, so now that should be cooling. And we'll get it down to 20 or so. It's not cooling very fast. Now liquid cools slower. Boy, this is going to take some tough monitoring to make sure this doesn't do some crazy stuff. I really can't drink 20-degree water or 70 Celsius water. $6 liters out of all that work. Interesting. I would have thought I would have gotten more than that. I wonder if I lost a significant amount. Is there something in this pipe? That's probably true. Yeah, there's a liter in this pipe yet. I guess I could probably shut this off now. 0.1, 0.29. What do you got to do to get the liquid out of here? 0.27. It's only 1 mole. Okay, I got no cooling on that pipe. It's not an insulated pipe, but non-insulated pipes don't lose heat in a vacuum. You need the radiator on it. I guess, how would I automate this? How would I tell a computer at a certain temperature? I guess put a volume pump here, or here. Here would be better if I can hook it up to there. I probably can't. And say, okay, once this temperature gets... What is going on here? Is my battery dead? It is. Okay, back to my thought here. So if I told an IC chip, when this tank gets to, say, 30 or 25, turn a volume pump on here and suck everything out of this pipe so it doesn't crack. I could put a liquid drain on it, but I don't want to do that because that's going to drain all my liquid. And I kind of want that. I still got 9 moles, which isn't much. That might be, well, I got to wait for that temperature to come down. But, well, you kind of see the strange issues I'm having here. Things you don't think about. But 7 liters of liquid is nothing to scoff at. What I'll do at this point is I can connect this back up. I got that turned off, so that's disconnected from that tank, but it's not disconnected from the cooling. And that's what the problem is. I want to get it cooled. I'm going to have to put a phase change device on here. That'll cool it to a controlled temperature and not to the point where radiators will, cool it so much that it'll crack pipes. It does take a long time for the water to cool. I'm going to have 7 liters on. Okay, so this works. I'll probably just load up another tank for now, but I want to run the mixture, and unfortunately it's a long way, but that is what it is. I'm going to have to run a pipe from here after my gas mixer, run it all the way along the back here and hook it up to here. I am going to put, how am I going to do that? I'm going to have to move this. I want to put a regulator here. I think I'm fast forwarding the gas might be a bad idea. I think if I put a regulator on here and put it to like 10 psi or something, or 10 psi, kilopascals, it'll feed the gas slower and make it last longer. That might cut down on my heat. Speaking of which, 298, so that's... I got water in there. So does that mean... It shouldn't cool, so I should be able to do this. Say should. I turn this back on. Am I still getting water out of here? We got 4% water. It should be filtering that out very slowly. Looks like it is. 3.56. Yeah, very slowly. It's pulling the steam in there though, and the warm temperature. Okay, so I'll leave that running. This, after I get all of that out of here, it's going to take a little while. I'll disconnect this part right here and we'll run everything through there, and then I won't have that problem anymore. So I'm up to 7 liters. That's more of that steam condensates. 7.01. Okay, so I'm going to have to sit up here this time and keep tabs on that until it gets to 40. But this works. Am I still blue? No, I am. So I'm still, even with that low of a temperature, I must be still generating enough power. I am. 881 watts. And it's only 285 Celsius. Huh. And it's all about the temperature difference. I got 100 degree Celsius difference, and that's enough to make, so the bottom line is if I add more of these on here and cool that down, it'll be more efficient. But there you go. Best way to do this is to use your H2 combustor. Use that heat to run your Stirling engine, and you get water at the same time. That works. Alright. And AB Salt Gamer. Sorry about the choppy episode. I did a lot behind the scenes, and actually, like I said, I made a video and I was like, that's too long, too much testing. I hooked a small one up, didn't like it. Hooked a big one up, didn't like it. Bled it right from the furnace into the tank, didn't like it because it just overpressurized the tank. So I said, you know what, why am I beating around the bush? Let's just put the fuel into the combustor, use that heat, which gave me more heat than I anticipated, and also gave me water at the same time. It looks like I might get another liter out of there. It's still going down, but okay. That's it. You have a good day. Okay, it's just a quick addendum to my earlier recording. A couple quick adjustments. I found that if I disconnected this pipe, this cooled off. It wasn't transferring the heat the same. So I put a condensation valve in here, and that's pulling any liquids out of the pipe slowly. I mean, there's still liquids in here, but it's not getting to be any more. I mean, look at my 0.001. I don't really want liquids in here because they take longer to heat up, and it saps the energy. So I've been pulling it out of there. Since I started that, I got 1.31 liters of water and some steam in here. I put one of these on here. I'm going to have to get phase change hooked up, because this is an uncontrolled cooling. I have no way of having it stop when it gets to a certain temperature, which I can't have. So I have to put phase change up here. That's probably my next step. The key to this whole thing, as you can see, I'm blue again. So what I have been manually doing, when I say blue, I mean my 2 batteries. That's pretty close. It's pretty close, because but basically what I'm going to have the automated computer do, and the key to this whole mess up here, is this valve. And I put a regulator after the fuel tank, and this fuel tank's lasted me a really long time. But I got this set for 40. Now I can increase the heat in here or decrease the heat on here by turning this up and down. If I want to increase it, I turn it up, which in turn makes the pipe hotter, makes it spin faster, gives me more voltage. If I want less voltage, then I can have this go down by 5 or something like that. 5 seems to be a good control number. And that cools this off a little bit and gives me less voltage, so I'm not wasting gas. And that's going to happen tomorrow. I'm going to make the codes for this. And again, I'm making 1.42 without even trying right now, hardly. And I'm using 1.05, so I'm making a little bit more than I'm using. And that's resulting in, you know, it's reading 100%, and that's pretty much what it is. But I could have the computer automatically turn this up and down based on the needs that I'm producing. And like I said, this if you watch this, it goes down really slow. 2.8. So this is using the fuel much more efficiently. 2.79. So additionally, I took this pipe or this tank down there. I got 8 liters of water out of that last run. And I'm curious to see if I'm doing better on this one. I think I might be, but we'll see. You know, based on this, I'm not venting any of my water out. I'm holding at 9. I could also do a couple other things. I could filter. There's not much oxygen in here, but I have a lot of CO2. So to keep this from venting stuff that I want, I could put a filter up here and just vent pollutants, I guess, or CO2, either or, into the atmosphere. And that would keep this below my threshold, which I have right now at 15, so it's way below it anyway. But it does go up slowly as it runs. So this is working. I think this is how I'm going to control the demand, and I don't know what the limit of this is now. At a certain point, you know, it does turning this up. See, the temperature is a lot lower than it was when I ran it last time. And I'm just not using as much fuel. So this was a good idea. I highly recommend that. And this is what I'm going to use, like I said, to control how much voltage I'm getting out of my generator. This doesn't seem to have any effect. I keep this down at 1, only because of pressure in the pipe. And I could use my labeler and set this to 0.5 or something. But I mean, I'm watching pressures real close, and this seems to be safe. I got 9 here and 10 there, so it's not going. There's not a whole ton of differential at 1. And the temperature in here is staying relatively cool. I added a couple more coolers up there, which gives me a better temperature difference. So this is working. I'm pretty sure now I have a way to control it. The hardest part about this is going to be on this world. Until I get rockets, I'm going to have to manually feed ice into these, because I don't have a way other than ice of making oxygen and volatiles. So luckily they both are abundant, and they also fill up your mining bag pretty quick. I still haven't figured out what I'm going to do with this ice. I guess nothing. It's too. So it's not really much I can do with that. But there you go. This is working. It's stable. Like I said, much more fuel efficient this way. Probably been on the same tank for about an hour. So if I get this set up, I can run a pipe over here, pressurize it to 5, and keep it there. And then I won't have to use a tank up here. I'll just run a pipe. And then the only problem I would have is at the front end of the filters. I do have a question for everybody out there. Maybe you can answer this. These condensation valves, it almost looks like it's letting steam through. It probably isn't. It's probably just letting the liquid through. And I'm asking this question because is it letting just liquid through, or does it let steam through? Because this is supposed to be an H2 filter, and it does steam also. So does the condensation valve, because if that's the case, why do I need a filter? I could just set condensation valves here and fill my water tank. Thought for people. Now if you look up a condensation valve, which I've had, any liquids, is steam considered a liquid since the filter is filtering steam? Maybe this is a gas, I don't know. I'm just kind of curious if anybody has ever tested well if this also does steam. Doesn't seem to be changing, but where did that steam come from? Because it's hooked up to the water. I don't know. That's just something I thought of. I may have to just like try and see. Because if you look, there's hardly any steam in this line also. Well, it's looped. Let's turn that off, see what happens. Nope, doesn't do steam. Well, that's unfortunate. It just sucked it right back out of there, though. Okay, no, that was just something I was thinking about. 2.40. Okay, so there you have it. That'll be all for today. I think tomorrow, I'm not big on putting stuff on my roof. That seems to be happening here. Maybe I'll put a evaporator, and I can use the pollutants in here if I have enough. Looks like I do. And we'll start cooling in a less dangerous manner. I'd say I'm up to 2 liters almost, well 1.8, just by sucking the water out of this pipe constantly. And I got 516 moles in here. Okay, well, if you're curious of what goes on, subscribe and like these, and we'll see you tomorrow.